What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full farm animal Pokemon team. Mr. T, this one is for you. So there's a lot of Pokemon you could use for a farm animal team. Lots of them. So what I did is I put them all into like a randomizer for the animals, and I decided from that list. I tried to come up with sets that sort of represented the animal, but was quite difficult due to some of the shallow movesets that I actually had there too. Today, I've got 7 battles with the farm animal team. What's your favorite animal? Like, out of all of them, it doesn't have to be a farm animal. Let me know. Don't say something like my favorite is a pig because I like the way it tasted, like bacon or something like that. All right, give me a serious answer. All right, I want some serious answers. All right, first, this is actually a really, really good battle. I'm not sure of my opponent's name here, but this is probably one of the best battles that I had with this team. First Pokemon is going to be a Meteor, and I figured since they were leading with it, it was going to be a Shell Smash set. Now, I led with my Mudsdale, probably the best set on my team, and this one has got Heavy Slam, and they've got a Focus Sash there, so they're able to lift that, and the Shields Down is going to activate, which is going to put Meteor in its more offensive and speedy form. So I really don't want to lose my horse just yet, you know. Well, I want to keep riding to the sunset, so we're going to go into the sheep. Now, Mareep, I didn't expect to live this. I only swapped it in for one reason, and I got it right away. I was very lucky. So I got a static from the sheep there. So this is a bulky Cotton Guard charge beam set. Meteor got a scumbag paralysis, and I finished it off with a disrespect charge beam. So that was awesome, you know. Now, I was trying to think... with this team, right, it's sort of like old McDonald's farm. So, you know, I can give you guys a chorus in a little bit throughout the video. I just got to see if I can actually remember the words to it. I think it was like... there was a duck here and a sheep here. I'm trying to remember it. Anyway, in comes Squawk ability. We're going to go for a charge beam, and it's got that protect. You know, Squawk ability is using protection, you know. So it's going to be a gut set, obviously, with the Flame Orb, and I know Facade is going to hit really, really hard. So that's the end of Mareep, but really, Mareep actually helped me feint the Meteor, which would have been a huge, huge threat. That Mareep, let's bring up these EVs and spreads too. The Mareep was max health and max special defense Calm Nature with Everlight and Static as the ability, and Terror Electric. So bringing in the chicken here for Torchic, which I felt was a definite good pick for this team. This is a Focus Sash speed boost set. So I've got max attack and max speed, Naive Nature, Sword Dance, Temple Flare, Reversal, and Quick Attack. And we got Terror type fighting on there as well. So I pretty much used this turn to get a Sword Dance up versus Squawk ability because I know it's not that fast a Pokemon, and I also let it build up my Reversal to max power 2-1-1 health because, you know, Facade hits really, really hard with Squawk ability. Quite an underrated Pokemon. Next Pokemon we got is going to be, it's a nice big juicy apple pie. I guess if you're on a farm, you know, you have one of those big old ovens. They were called like, I'm trying to think of the name of them again. It might have been an Australian brand. They're called like, I think they're called Meta's oven. You could dry, like people used to dry their clothes on them and stuff like that and cook on them too. The real old school ones, probably before all of you's time. Anyway, that's the end of my chicken, unfortunately, and I brought in the bull, and Blizzard's gonna miss. Now, you wouldn't read about it. This was a recover set. Well, that part wasn't, you know, really hard to believe, but I thought I'd go for a workup here because I've got this special Tauros. Now, this special Tauros took a lot of people by surprise. So I've got a Sheer Force and Life Orbs there. This was actually a recycle set. So they were going to try and recycle their item. And watch this, right? I went for Blizzard. It lives due to its ability, Thick Fat. And that was a weakness policy recycle set. I was like, oh, no, that's bad, right? That's super, super bad. And it's got that big suck with Giga Drain. Fortunately, I'd say they invested absolutely everything into bulk there, and Tauros has got some okay natural bulk, so I was able to live. So going for another Blizzard, and we're going to take out the apple pie there. So that's good. That's really, really good. I didn't really want to be swept by that. Now, we got 3 more Pokemon left. Next Pokemon we got is going to be Slow King Gala. Now, I have no stab whatsoever. It is a stellar set, as you can see, so work up stellar. I went for the Fire Blast for some damage, and I was actually pretty impressed with that damage. This set is a Life Orb Sheer Force set, max special attack, and max speed with Timid Nature. Its special attack is base 40, so it's downright horrendous, but it is a fun set to use. So we're going to bring in the horse now. It's a pretty good set here. We got Body Press, Earthquake, Fissure, and Heavy Slam. Probably the best set on my team, actually. Or probably the more standard set. I've got Earthquake here. I thought I might go for Terra Fighting because it might have a super effective move to use against me. Now, this one was 252 in health, 144 in defense, 84 in special defense, and impish nature. So I wanted to make it bulky all round, and I also gave it an assault vest as well. I actually outsped that and took it out with Earthquake, so that really wasn't a problem. I probably didn't need to Terror there either. Maybe I was actually worried about Ninetales, right? Because Ninetales might have Aurora Veil, but it didn't even have snow, like the snow going on, a snow warning. So I was like, what is this set? They had some, a little bit off sort of meta sets, which was interesting too. So I swapped out to the pig and they had Psyshock. I'm like, oh, I see. Now this pig, this was a pretty cool set. Let's bring it up here. So we got Stockpile, Spit Up, Belch, and Rest. So it's a PIMPNITE special and, let's be real, it doesn't really hit all that hard, but the Stockpile boost on Spit Up actually drops it's like a massively powerful attack for one turn. Now I've also got Stellar on there as well, and I've got Chesterberry as the item. So I can also use Belch in between that too, which is cool, and it's super effective against Ninetales, which I thought was pretty fun. So we're gonna go for a Belch here on the Ninetales. Actually really good damage. I was impressed with that. So I was like, man, this could take the Ninetales out in 2 hits. So I would have loved to see the reaction after seeing that. Ninetales is going to continue going for Psyshock, which is interesting, which makes me think it might be Choice Scarf. And I went for Belch again, and that was enough to take out the Ninetales. I actually want to know what that set was. It's interesting they didn't have, a generic snow warding set. Last Pokemon on the team is going to be Glaceon. Glaceon, you don't get to see too often, so that was good. And they're going to go for a Terra here, obviously. So I was like, all right, I'm kind of curious what they're going to do here. Are they going to go for an ice move? But they went for Terra Ground. I was like, oh, okay. So Terra Ground isn't going to be so good for Gunk Shot, right? For Belch. I'm going to start stockpiling some stats here, so I thought I may as well. I might be able to see what this is going to use, and it's going to go for a Terra Blast Ground. So Glaceon has a big special attack, a big special attacking stat, but I'm able to live that because this has a lot of health. So I'm like, all right, I'll go for Rest here, but they won the speed time. Like, oh, that was unlucky. So my pig unfortunately got taken to market. Now I've sung the pigs went to market song, so I won't give you that song, but I'll give you another song, very, very soon, right? We'll do it in the second battle. How's that? All right, so bringing in the dog now, we got a nice fat body slam there, not doing a lot of damage, but paralyzing a Terra Ground, which is pretty cool, actually. This is a Adrenaline Roar Guard Dog set, the PIMPNITE Special there. Body Slam, Jaw Lock, Play Rough, and Fire Fang, Terra Fairy, max attack and max speed, Adamanature. So I did a swap there because it's going to take me a while to take this thing out, actually, and we've got Alluring Voice. I thought, oh, it's a throat spray set, but it wasn't a throat spray set, interesting. So I thought, I'm going to go for Fissure here. I'll just go for one. It landed on the first go, and that is going to be the end of the Glaceon there. But good to see some of those Pokemon being used there you don't get to see very often, and some interesting strategies there for sure, rather than just the normal strategies you always get to see. So thank you to my random opponent. If you guys want to translate these names, that would be absolutely awesome. And let's get on to battle number 2 here. This is a battle against Unike. I don't know how to say that. I've got 7 battles today with this team too. If you enjoy the videos, you want to support the channel, hit that like button there. Tell me what your favorite animal is. I quite like, trying to think about all the animals, like every animal out of them all. I mean, a bull's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got a Berserker lead here, and I missed Fire Blast, which is very, very detrimental because that would have done it. I reckon that almost would have taken it out. Now we've got this green. Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that. I've only just noticed that nickname now. Okay, so we got a Fire Blast here on the against the Greninja, and I went for a Thunder from down under, and, well, there won't be any more licking there. Now, that's actually probably pretty good, getting rid of Greninja instead of Berserker, too, so I was happy with that trade-off. Next Pokemon is Bravri here, so you don't get to see this very often either. I've got Thunder and I've got Blizzard. Thunder's a little bit more accurate. They were probably kind of wondering why I was using special moves for. They're probably like, what the heck is this set? Who is this noob? Anyway, so that's my Tauros down there, but great damage there on the Tauros. Esper Wing is going to increase the speed of Bravri as well. Not that I was too worried, because I had a good plan here. I felt like I was in range to take them out with Temper Flare, you know. I also had Temper Flare and Quick Attack as well. So another Esper Wing here on my Torchic. I didn't actually get to tell you my Tauros. Sorry, my Oinkologne set. That was Max Health and Max Special Attack Modest Nature too, if you were curious. And I think I told, I said the rest of my EVs there. The Bull was a speed and special attack and timid too. So I managed to take out the Bravri, which is excellent, and we've got life. All right. So as soon as I send this, I'm like, I bet you they're just going to bring back one of their Pokemon, you know. So I couldn't do a lot of damage. And then went for Mach Punch. I thought, all right, I was kind of hoping they'd underestimate me and let me go for a reversal, but that wasn't the case. So bringing in the dog now, I thought this was a bit of an interesting swap in. I was trying to bait them to attack me with a fighting type move. So then I could feint them so they couldn't, use the life support on like Greninja or whatever. So we're gonna Terra into Terra Electric here. I also Terra'd this turn into Terra Fairy. They probably thought something was, they probably smelled a rat there because I brought in a Pokemon that was weak to fighting. So I think that's what spurred on the Terra there. So we've got a double shock here with Terra Electric, which obviously is going to hit really, really hard. Mayweather lived that on 15 health, which is really, really impressive. Now I actually went for Play Rough here. I thought that'd be a good move to take it out. Really great damage there, but wasn't enough because it was neutral damage. So I thought, I want to keep the dog alive. I've got an idea. They're going to go for Mach Punch. Let's go into the horse, and I can activate the stamina ability, which won't be bad against the rest of these Pokemon because they obviously were competitive sets, right? So I've got that free stamina boost, which is going to be helpful. They can't go for any electric type moves. I thought, well, I've got Earthquake, I've got Body Press. Either one of these moves is going to be able to take this out easy. So now the Pawmont is going to go for Revival Blessing, and that is going to bring another Pokemon back. They've got a Leopard Berry too, but there's no way I was going to allow them to get another one up there. So they had to bring back the Bravri or the Greninja. Of course, they brought back the Greninja, and I'm going to feint the Pawmont there with Body Press. Didn't really matter. So now Pawmont, well, it's on life support too. So we got 4 more Pokemon left, right? They're going to bring back in the Greninja. Now, this is an Assault Vest set, so I thought, I'm going to leave this attack. I don't know how well, though. I've got a stamina up, so I want to keep that. So here comes the Water Shuriken. That is doing absolutely nothing. And now, every single Water Shuriken is going to activate my stamina on the Mudsdale. So they only hit me twice. But now I've got +3 in defense, see, for Body Press. So it's going to do a lot of damage. So I think they expected to do a lot more damage than Mudsdale and that. But this, as I said, this is very heavily invested, and it's got Assault Vest as well. So in comes Wo-Chin. I'm going to get hit by a Giga Drain, but that doesn't take me out either, and I get another stamina boost. I'm like, at this stage, I'm at +4. This is going to take it out, and it did. So that snail got squished by the horse there. I'm trying to think of this old McDonald's farm. I'm actually generally trying to think of it. Okay, I think I remember it. Let's do it in the next battle. Okay, so I'm going to get hit there with an Iron Head. They're going to go for a try and flinch me. That gives me yet another stamina boost, and Mudsdale is just sweeping through this team with Body Press now. I think that's, what, +4 or 5? Last Pokemon we got here is going to be Crocodile. That's a good name, Ray-Bans, after the glasses. So I know they're going to try and get a Moxie here, but with such big defensive boost from stamina, there wasn't any way they were going to get around my defense, and those Ray-Bans got squished as well by the horse. And that is the end of the battle there. Mudsdale getting virtually a sweep almost by itself to there. So thank you, Uniki, for the battle. If you guys ever battle me too, in one of the videos, let me know in the comments. I always like to know that. Thanks for not rage quitting either. A lot of people would have rage quit. At least you stuck out, the battle. Next Pokemon. We got a battle here, and they only brought 2 Pokemon. I was like, huh? They had more in the team preview, I believe, but they only brought 2. So they had a Marill. And I was kind of curious what this was going to even be. So I went for stockpile. I was like, all right, maybe it's like a belly drum set or something like that. But then he used Snowscape. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What are they attempting? Are they going to go for Blizzard? I don't know. I was like, what's going on in this battle? Like, sometimes I get these really random battles, and I just have to share them with you guys, right? You just have to share these things with me. So now Marill's going to go for Aqua Ring. I'm like, what is this set? I don't know. I'm not the person to say what is this set and stuff. Like, I know it's the pot and the kettle thing, but sometimes you got to say, it's got to be said, right? So I'm setting stockpiles up here. I'm going to go for a big spin up. Then I went for Metronome. I'm like, oh, what is this? So I went for Stone Axe. So it actually set some Stealth Rocks up against me. It's not all that bad to move here. All right, so it's like, it's something like this. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on his farm, he had a pig with a snort here and a snort there. Here's a snort, everywhere a snort, 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 snort. Something like that. I think I got it pretty close. What do you guys reckon? That had to be a fat 10 out of 10. Anyway, we've got an Eye Shard as the next Metronome move here. I wanted to see, I was like curious, I want to go for a Terra Stella and Belch and see if I can take out this Marill, And they had one other Pokemon on the back too, which obviously was a more decent Pokemon. So I was kind of curious, are they going to troll with that set too? Or was this a troll, right? So I'm going to get that Stella. We're going to go for a Stella Spin Up. That actually sounds absolutely disgusting. And Marill is going to faint there. It actually generally is a really, really powerful attack with maximum stockpiles and that initial Stella. Last Pokemon on the team is going to be Trevenant. So Trevenant I can't do much to, so I'll go for Belch. This probably won't do very much because Trevenant's quite bulky, and it's about like a 3-hit KO. Now Trevenant's going to go for a Drain Punch. There is really no way I can win this matchup unless I got a huge critical hit or something like that. So I continue to go for Belch. I didn't really want to swap out, and they planted their roots right. So this is like a real greedy sort of set there. So it's recovering with its roots. It's got that nutrients, and it's got Drain Punch too. So tons of recovery. Also, speaking of recovery, it's also got a berry too. So I was like, I bet you this is also going to have Harvest, and it's going to be a pain, right? Trevenant's going to go for Drain Punch too and take me out. So it's got Ingrain, Drain Punch, and Harvest, and you know that it's got Horn Leech, right? So this is going to be a really, really annoying set to take out. Because a lot of, to be fair, a lot of this team, looking at my sets, they weren't, let's be real, they weren't hard hitters. I mean, we had Special Tauros, Special Oinkologne, Chicken, those sort of things. So I thought, I'll go into Mudsdale. I've got a plan here, right? I actually think I'll have a lot of trouble getting around this. So I thought, it's nothing a good fissure won't fix, So we're going to be a Terra Trevenant here. Here comes Terra Grass. And I know Horn Leech is coming. This is very bad. So here comes the Horn Leech on the Trevenant. I thought I'd take this really badly, and I did. It's a disaster, right? So they've got all their health back there. What am I going to do? I just went for Fissure this turn. I got a stamina boost. It's not going to matter at all. But Fissure landed on the first go on the Trevenant, and it took it out, obviously. And that is the end of this random person. And of course, as their Trevenant was fainting, their finger went to the power button, and they salty rage quit. So I don't think they thought their Trevenant was going to lose that matchup. So there you go, a nice salty little baby ball there. Hope you enjoyed this one. What the heck is going on here? Okay, this battle, I forgot. There was a glitch in this, I was doing this battle. It was a completely glitched battle, right? What was going on? Let's get a like on the video there for the most, the best jump scare ever there. So this battle was absolutely insane, right? Mainly the glitches in it were really funny. So it's kind of like a, like a think of the memory leak that Scarlet and Violet has. It tends to leave things in odd places, and then odd things like that happen. You'll get to see as well, some of the trainers start appearing inside other trainers and things like that. So we had a Tyranitar lead there, and Moveset actually deal with that really nicely. I took a bit of damage there from the sand and rocky helmet, but other than that, it was, it was all good. We got Gangster Grandma in the background waving her hands and stuff around there too. Oh, this is the thing. The game started lagging like crazy. Not like the game. Whoa! Oh, see, did you see that? The ball came out of the ball. So anyway, so in comes Raichu. I'm not going to Raichu a Love Salt, and Raichu is going to go down here. So in between the turns, it felt like the game was going to crash, The opponent was not stalling. They already picked their Pokemon. If you notice, the connecting button was gone. So I have no idea what was going on here. And I wanted to stay in the battle to see what would happen. As you can see, I was looking around on the rest of the stage here. I was like, is anything else glitched, or is it just the trainers inside the other trainers? So in comes the Gyarados, and I got Guard Dog ability, and I got Adrenaline Orb. So this is the PIMPNITE special, the Guard Dog Adrenaline Orb strategy I came up with years and years ago when this Pokemon first came out. So finally there's a good double combination for it. So I decided to go for the Terra Fairy. Now, if you don't know what Guard Dog does, basically you are immune to Intimidate, and if you do get intimidated, you receive a +1 in attack, which is really, really cool. And of course, Adrenaline Orb activates as well when you have your attack affected by Intimidate too. So it gives you a +1 in speed, which is great. It's like getting a free Dragon Dance, right? Really, really cool. But it is there kind of bad there because you get these people that salty rage quit and stuff like that. So that's another salty rage quit. That Gyarados did not appreciate getting taken out by the sandstorm either. What is going on today? There were so many babies online. Let's get on to battle number 5 here. Battle number 5. So we got a Metagross lead. It is exactly what you call the greatest matchup in the history of Pokemon. So I got to swap out and go into the horse. So Metagross is going to go for a tricky. I was like, what is this going to be? Choice Scarf or something? And it gave me a lagging tail. Oh, and it got an Assault Vest for that, which is not really all that good. So I thought, all right, I've got Earthquake. It's not all that bad. And I've also got Fissure as well. So I was very, very tempted just to go for Fissure there. I really was. You guys know me. I like going for the troll stuff. So in comes Salamence. I ended up going for Earthquake that turn. And Salamence is a bit of a problem here. So I thought, well, I've got Heavy Slam. I guess I can go for that. Salamence is going to go for Dragon Claw and increase my defense, which is quite good. So Heavy Slam doesn't do a bad amount of damage there. They're going to swap out their Salamence. They don't want to give me any more boost. Now, this was a meta team as well. It really was. So I wasn't sure how long I was going to be able to last in this battle before I would get, annihilated by their team. So in comes the Great Tusk. We got an attack boost on that. So they're really going to try and get through my attack boost. And of course that it resists Heavy Slam too. So I don't have a lot of options outside of Body Press, and they've got Ice Spinner. Ice Spinner does a good amount of damage there, but I do have a stamina boost up, which did negate virtually their attack boost there too. So I'm going to go for Body Press and try and get some damage on Great Tusk. I knew that I wouldn't be able to feint it. Now, this is me now thinking, should I go for Fissure or not, or should I get some damage? I'll get some damage here, because my team, it really didn't do a lot of damage. I was thinking here, though, I was looking at the team, and I was in the team preview. I was like, man, my Tauros has some pretty good, the special Tauros I made, which was pretty rubbish, has some great, the only good thing about it has really, really good coverage with all the high base power special moves. So I thought, this might work here as a mid to late game sweeper. But before that, I want to see if I can get the chicken to do some damage. So bringing in the chicken now, we've got Sword Dance. I was like, I'll go Sword Dance, I'll get the speed boost, and I'll take the Great Tusk out with like Reversal or something like that. That should be okay. I should be able to do that because it didn't get it like a speed boost or anything like that. So getting that attack boost up is going to be nice. I've now got options for my Reversal or Temper Flare. which I thought is going to be good. I ended up going for Temper Flare. I sort of wanted to keep Reversal hidden, just in case. It's quite a good move. Just a neutral damage move too that does tons of damage. Next Pokemon is Metagross. I thought, all right, you had Trick and you had Lagging Tail. I don't think you've got Bullet Punch. It wouldn't really make sense on the set. So I've got Reversal and I've got Temper Flare. I felt like they both do around the same damage. Maybe Temper Flare a little bit more, but Metagross has got good bulk and I definitely wasn't fainting it. So I was happy with the damage that I did to it. So now we're going to go into the dog. I know they've got Assault Vest as well, so I really need to use physical moves on this thing. So I've got Jaw Lock, I'm going to outspeed, and Metagross lives that just due to its bulk. And now it's going to, well, you can't run away. Well, not that I'm going to run away. And then I got an Explosion off. I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. Like, it had a different sort of move on it. I actually managed to live Explosion, which surprised me, but then judging on the damage I did to them, they had a lot of bulk, so they definitely weren't max attack for sure. Sweet comes Salamence here. Obviously, they got Moxie, so I thought, well, I've got Play Rough, or do I go Terra Fairy here, and then they go Dragon Claw? That would be a great play, because Dragon Claw is 100% accurate. There's no reason why they wouldn't go for it, so I thought, this is great. I'll get rid of the Salamence. All right, I'll have a low HP Terra, but it's still okay. Salamence is going to outspeed me, and it goes for Dual Wing Beat. I'm like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense at all. They had no idea that I had Terra Fairy. So that play really sort of mind-boggled me there. I couldn't understand. Anyway, so the dog is going to faint. They're going to get a Moxie. I was like, crap. So we're going to go up to Tauros now. So Tauros basically has one shot here. I was like, I'm going to go for Blizzard. So Dual Wing Beat hits me, but I just live it. Tauros got some nice bulk there. And Tauros is going to actually land the Blizzard and take out the Salamence. I was like, that's really good. I'm happy with that. Salamence, Moxie is going to be difficult to stop with this team. Let's be real, right? So next Pokemon's going to be Orthworm. They probably think they've got me here, but I've got Fire Blast. Fire Blast does so much damage there. Orthworm's special defense is absolute booty as well. And they got the Citrus Berry. I knew they were going to try a Shed Tail or a Stealth Rock, and they went for Stealth Rock there. I think they did not expect me to do any damage to them whatsoever, and they figured, the best move we'll probably have is like Earthquake or something like that. And Fire Blast takes out the Orthworm. So Special Tauros is really, really going well. It's playing absolutely excellent. Next Pokemon to come out is going to be Dragonite. So I'm like, oh no, here we go. So obviously they're going to go the little Timmy Terra normal Dragonite. Basically, I've pushed them into a corner here. They had no choice but to do this. Otherwise, they would have lost there to Special Tauros. I was pressing them so hard with this terrible special set. So I went for Blizzard is going to miss, and they're just going to go for a Dragon Dance there. I thought they may just extreme speed me, but then again, it was very easy for them to set up against a Special Tauros with Terra Normal. So I sort of just cut my losses there. I thought, well, that was a really good battle. I wanted to show that one how well Special Tauros actually went there. And they had to go absolutely hyper sweaty just to not lose. Let's get on to the sixth battle here. This one is against Mr. T, and I believe we got a theme team here as well. So let me know if you can guess what it is. First Pokemon is going to be the mighty Drowsy, and Drowsy is going to go for a trick. I found it pretty funny that Drowsy could actually outspeed anything. Now, I've got to say this because I say this every time I see a Drowsy in a battle. Not that that's very often. Shout out to the homie who animated Drowsy's fingers. Like, you did something amazing there. Imagine that massage on your back, So we're going to go for a Temper Flare here on that Drowsy, and we're going to be able to take it out there, which is cool. So I've got some speed boost going here on my chicken as well. Out comes Booby. That must be some sort of duck, right? I guess. There must be some sort of duck. All right, the old McDonald's farm. And on his farm, he has some ducks with a quack quack here and a quack quack there. Here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack quack. Don't say that too fast, or you'll sound like you're saying crack. Anyway, so we got the Thunder from Down Under. That is going to take out. That's the end of the booby, Now we got 4 more Pokemon. Next Pokemon's going to be Basculin. Now this this caused me a lot of problems. So it's going to go for Endure. Now, seeing Endure, I was like, oh no, this might be some sort of barrier or weakness policy set, you know? It's going to be very, very bad. So they're going to Endure the hit, and it's not a bulky Pokemon either, so you would need Endure to get those boosts up. So it's got weakness policy, and I was wondering, is it special, is it physical, is it mixed? You know, what exactly is it? I actually need a drink here too. You know, doing all this farm work is hard work, guys. So I sausage fingered on Blizzard. Well, let's be real, they were all inaccurate moves anyway. And Tauros is gonna faint there. Oh, that's right. I'll tell you guys the story, right? I was doing the battle, and then I did this ginormous sneeze and fat fingered my Pro Controller, and I pressed Blizzard instead of Fire Blast. To be fair, Fire Blast still could have missed anyway. So we got a Blizzard here, and the pig, well, I went for rest because I couldn't attack. I couldn't use Spit Up, and I couldn't use Belch, so I had to keep going for rest here, but Blizzard kept missing all the time. I was like, for God's sake, could you just land an attack? So I'm going for rest. It was like rest, Blizzard, you know, it's kind of, at last the third Blizzard actually lands here, and it froze the pig. No! All right, everyone, it looks like we're having frozen pig. Yeah, it's going to go on the freezy, you know. So the pig is frozen here. Now, I will say, I had another battle with this team as well, and the same thing happened to the pig. It got frozen, but unfortunately, like a couple of battles, they got like, I know, they got like corrupted and stuff like that. They had these weird glitches and lines through them, so I couldn't include them, sadly, but this wasn't the first time the pig actually got frozen. So anyway, that is the end of the pig there. It's off to the freezer, and we're going to bring in the sheep here. Now, this is my bulky set, and I'll actually vouch for this Mareep set. It was really, really bulky when it wasn't versing a hyped up special attacking Basculin, right? So Water Pulse, of course, is going to confuse me on the first turn, and I managed to get a Charge Beam off, so that's good. Very, very nice. Now, this set actually made it really tanky. Let me bring it up. So I had Max Health, Max Special Defense, Calm Nature, Cotton Guard, which increases defense by 3 stages, so I only had to use that twice. Charge Beam, good combination there, boosting the special defense and boosting up the next electric type move, and we had Rest as well as on there. I would love to put Sleep Talk on there, but it just wasn't happening. So in comes Torkoal, and it's going to use Shell Smash. Like, oh no, this is very, very, very bad. So I'm still confused at the moment. I hope I can get a Charge Beam off, and I did. I was like, okay, well, you know, any damage is better than none, right? That was some pretty good damage. Now, Torkoal's one of those Pokemon who's, you know, I mean, it's probably the second slowest Shell Smash Pokemon before, you know, Macargo's the worst Shell Smash Pokemon because it's so slow, but Torkoal is still pretty dang slow, right? So I brought in the horse here, and I had Earthquake, and I thought, all right, well, Earthquake's going to take it out. Do I go for that? Or do I go for Terra Fighting and then Earthquake? Or, you know, what do I do here? I don't know what they're going to do. And it's going to be Terra Grass. Or it's going to be, yeah, I was thinking, well, Terra Blast Grass is always good on a fire Pokemon for coverage, right? So here comes the Terra Blast Grass right up my, you know, and then I've got the stamina boost, but I went for a Earthquake here. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to take that out, you know, there's no way. So I've got Body Press and I've got Terra Fighting. I thought I could go Terra Fighting here to live it, but even then I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know, or will they predict that and go for a Flamethrower, you know? I'm not really sure. I've got one more Pokeball left. I think I've got my pig. No, I don't know my pig. I've got my Mabastiff, you know. I'm facing some pretty stiff competition here. I knew my Mabastiff could take it out or badly live. So here comes a Flamethrower, and that is going to be the end of the horse there. So maybe, I guess in the end it didn't really matter there. Mudsdale wasn't bulky enough to live that. So I've got the dog. Yeah, dog is left, and I can't Terra either. It's got Grass and Flamethrower. I've got Fire Fang. I was like, man, is Fire Fang even going to be enough to take this out? Because, yeah, it does have some pretty good defense. Then they swapped out. I was like, oh, I could have gone for a different move if I knew they were going to swap. So the next Pokemon to come is going to be Poison Frog. And I just went for Fire Fang here. And it did very underwhelming damage. So I've got Body Slam, and that's my best move here. I'm sure this has some sort of fighting move. but then it went for Mud Slap. I'm like, oh my God, not Mud Slap again. I went for Body Slam. Thankfully, it didn't miss, and I actually activated a berry here, which is going to be the citrus berry. Yeah, so I was like, I wonder what this is. I was like, wait, is this going to be Belch? And it was. I was like, I knew it was going to be Belch. Belch almost took the dog out. I went for Body Slam there. So you guys got to see, a Belch Oinkologne and a Belch Toxicroak all in one video. That's pretty cool. Last Pokemon apart from the Talker is going to be Toucan. Toucan play at that game. I've got Body Slam, that's it. I know that I can't feint this at all because Toucan will be able to live. I mean, Mavestiff's attack stat is nothing to write home about. So go for that Body Slam. Good damage now. I actually got a crit and a Paralyze on 110. Like, wow, that was insane. Imagine if I got Paralyzed too, and I did. It's like, wow, there's no way I got that lucky. I got insane luck there. I don't even know, what are the chances for that? Mathematicians who watch my video, math people. A crit, a Paralyze, and then a Paralyze afterwards. That's some good luck. Last Pokemon is a Torkoal from earlier on, and I just went for Body Slam here, and it took it out. I think they would have won if they kept going for Flamethrower there. I mean, I might have really badly lived, but mainly I got that luck against Toucan, which was like super, super lucky. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that team. It was something to do with animals. I'll give you a hint there. Last battle here we have today. This one is against Hunt Down, and we have a theme team here as well. Now, I'm going to lead with my dog this time. I've got Fire Fang and I've got Play Rough. I just went for Fire Fang there. And Frostmoth is going to feint that turn. So that's the end of Gloop, Gloop. If you are still watching this video and you're enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button. Tell me what your favorite animal is there. I hope you guys like the long videos. I sort of am used to doing them now. I really actually enjoy doing them because I can include far more content. So, I was watching a couple of my older videos, from about 8 years back. And the amount of content and quality I include now compared to then is massive, right? So I'm almost giving 4 to 5 times the amount of content per video, which is really, really cool. It's always cool to see improvements over time, right? So Ninetale is going to come in and it's called Prison. Oh wait, this is a team that I traded away in one of my Nuzlockes, right, for a random egg. So now it's getting used against me. So this is a physical Ninetales, a Choice Band physical Ninetales with Flare Blitz, and it really, really hits hard. Because I have used one by myself, and it just hits so hard. I think because of this drought. Flare Blitz's base power and Choice Band. So here comes Lord Quack here, and it's going to go for a Water Pulse in the sun. And it's got Cloud9. Yeah, it's got Cloud9. So I decided to get some stockpiles up here. I thought I might be able to get that Spit Up strategy going, So with Spit Up, you need 3 stockpiles to do that. I want to say something here about the move Spit Up, and Spit Up is not a good move, and I feel like when you get the stockpiles up, I reckon you should retain your boosts and be able to keep using the move. Because it's gimmicky, right? You have to keep getting those defensive and special defensive boosts up. It's risky, you know what I mean? Or even buff the power of it even more, Make it like a 300 base power move because you're only going to get one of them off there. I reckon it needs a buff. It's gimmicky and fun, but it needs more positives to it, right? At least don't drop all this, the boost that stockpile gives. So I can't go for Belch there because I haven't consumed anything to go for a burp. And now we're going to go for that Stellar Pig. Now this is a really, really I actually didn't see many things that lived this attack. I'm being honest. I never saw many things that lived it. So we're going to go for that Spit Up. We got maximum power, Stellar Boost, and any neutral attack. It's very, very powerful, against a lot of Pokemon. Even with its terrible special, that was it has 50, I think it's got 58 or 59 base special attack. It's super bad. I was imagine on a really, really good high special attacking Pokemon. It'd be crazy. So in comes this Ninetales again here. I honestly was just trying to beat this with recall damage because it was just hitting so hard and decimating my poor team, So that is the end of the pig. It's a poor pig. It's been turned into bacon. It's been frozen for the next few weeks. It's cruel. So we're gonna swap in the horse now. I'm happy with this. I got Earthquake and I got Fissure. I'm like, I really want to go for Fissure, but I really need to get rid of this Ninetales. So Ninetales is gonna. I had a feeling it would obviously swap out there. And in comes Morning Wood, the Sudowoodo, right? I would never call a Sudowoodo Morning Wood, you know? So we're going to go for Earthquake there. Great damage. It does live, though, because Sudowoodo does have a good defensive stat. This has got Wood Hammer, which, of course, does suit the Morning Wood name. That's going to give me a stamina boost, which is nice. I can go for a heavy slam here, and the Morning Wood's going to be a bit flaccid after that. So we got 3 Pokemon down, and we've got 3 more left, right? Out comes Big Toe, which is Metagross. Now, I think this was called Big Toe because, you know, in my life, unfortunately, I've stubbed my toe quite a few times. And it happened, I don't know, I do it all the time. It freaking hurts, right? And, you know, I guess this Metagross is sort of like my toe, right? It's so powerful now. It's bumped into so many things. It's made out of, like, steel and shit like that. So that's why that nickname came from. So I tried to scum them out with Fissure, but it didn't work there. I should have used the Earthquake. See, this is where I like to try and troll the trolls back. It didn't happen that time. So that's the end of my horse there, unfortunately. I was horsing around, and I've got Tauros here. I thought, well, I've got Fire Blast. This should, well, maybe a 2-hit KO if I'm lucky. So go for the Fire Blast here, crossing my fingers. Really good damage. I was happy with that. And then I was like, oh no, it's got weakness policy. So that wasn't really part of the plan, you know? So that's going to get Big Toe has now got, oh, get it? Big Toe weakness policy? Oh my God, I only just understood that. Was that done on purpose? Wow, I only just understood that. That must have been done on purpose. Anyway, we got a special Metagross here. Holy smokes, that took out, there was no bull there. That took out my Tauros in one shot. Last Pokemon I've got here is my chicken. Now, I need a Sword Dance up here, and I need Temper Flare to take this out. I feel like a normal Temper Flare might take it out, but I was like, do I retain my sash or do I get outspared here? And I did get outspared. So I've got my sash here, which is good, and I've got my Sword Dance, so I can at least go for that, or I can just go for Temper Flare, right? 2 Temper Flares or 1 Sword Dance. I decided to not take any risk, and I just attacked, which was probably a good idea. Now, I've got my speed boost here, and I've got reversals. So I thought, ooh, will I outspeed this? I was like, I should be able to outspeed this, right? But then Ninetales had quick attack. It's like, no. So that's the end of my torch. So it was a choice band set with Flare Blitz and quick attack. So that was very, very cruel. Last Pokemon is going to be the sheep, and I know that Ninetales is going to come out and come back in and do a Flare Blitz nuke against me. I know that it's going. And out comes the homie Pooh. And I was like, okay, this is good. I've got Cotton Guard. I'm ready to go. I can reverse sweep them now, right? Because I just get 1 more Cotton Guard up, and then I've got +6 in attack with Everlight. So I got a nice little static there. It's funny, I did a static ability team, and I really got static boost, but this Mareep got me so many. So I'm going to boost up my special defense here, just in case there's any special moves, and I can boost up the power of Charge Beam too. Here comes the Play Rough, and that's going to do nothing at all. So I'm like, this is great. I'll go for another Cotton Guard. Now I've got +6 in defense, a drastic boost, and Play Rough crits me after all that. You wouldn't read about it. You know what? That's a salty finish. This battle, you know, guys, this battle never happened, all right? So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.